All right.
Yes, in a minute.
Okay, in a minute. Okay, awesome. We'll take a look. Okay, as I can see it go live. So, oh, I think we're live. It says custom live. I think we're live right now. That's the funny thing about Zoom, right? You're like, is it live? Is
Yes,
it
yes,
not
we are.
live? Okay, wonderful. Okay, you guys, I think we have a great Shanda on Demand today. I love doing these, but I want to announce that that because of something I'm going to take you through right now, you have to prioritize your time so that you can hit your ultimate goals. Am I right? Yes, you guys get that? Like how many times you feel like it's like, we're working through this year currently, and it feels like the year is going really fast. Any of you guys think that? And I don't know if you have a vacation on the books or you got kids, you got summer that's going to come up, and then you got Christmas. Like I'm already planning Christmas right now. I know I'm singing Christmas music too, by the way. My mom told me to stop. It was enough. But my point in sharing that with you is I have a one-page strategic plan that I operate off of. I'm going to pull it over for a second. I have a one-page strategic plan that I operate off of. And I don't know if Tommy's on with us right now, but Tommy can always drop our one-page strategic plan if she's on right now. I don't know if she's on with us. Tommy, if you're there, just say yes in the chat so I can see. Okay, so if not, you're always welcome to come find me on Instagram. Ask me for my one-page strategic plan. I'm happy. Okay, you guys on Zoom, we're going to drop it on Zoom. Then Tommy, can you flip over to our channels on social and just drop it on the chat and maybe pin it to the top? Okay, so I have a one-page strategic plan, and this sits inside my my drawer, right? It's not really a drawer, it's a cabinet. And I open it up and I look at it to see, am I hitting the mark? Okay, I'm going to take you through a process that is going to have you hit the mark. And I've got a vision for the company. I've got my top 3 goals that are on here. And then I have 5 strategic key metrics that if I do these things, I succeed. Okay, so now I want to drop this note in here. So often we say we want something. I'm going to have you write down this framework. Okay, so write down the word want, and I'll get into that in a second. So often we say we want something. We're like, I want to make more money. Okay, well, I can't make you happy to know that you want to make more money. How much do you want to make? Right? I want to, something that's kind of unique about me. I do work Mondays, the last Monday of every single month, but traditionally for many, many years, I've worked 3 weeks out of every month and generated 8 figures in business. Okay, every single year consistently. If there's anything I've figured out, it's I'm very, very good at generating cash flow. It's a thing that my clients want a lot from me, and then some of them don't like it when I tell them to make decisions faster, because the key to making more money is actually making decisions faster. Okay, we're going to talk about that today, but we're going to put it to practical uses. So I'm looking at my 5 key strategic plan, and really it's just comes from my want, right? And it's like, what do you, and you have to not make your want wrong. So I used to make my want wrong. So I'd be like, I want to make $1 million, or I want to live in Europe, or and there's like, oh, well, who am I to want that? And I know some of you guys don't have that mindset and you're fine with it. But I will tell you, like every now and then the devil gets in the details and starts to shame you for what you want. And it's really important to realize that you can be a parent, you can be a grandparent, you can be a great friend, you can be in shape and be busy running a business. Like you don't have to live in an either or conversation. And as a coach, I see that a lot, especially with you ladies. I do see it with some men where they feel like they can't push harder in the office, because if they push harder, then their spouses get upset. And it's like, you just need to develop leadership where you create agreements. Okay. So I'm not a big component. If you tell me your dog died and you're not going to work for 6 weeks, or you're going to slow down, I'm not going to have it, because I've had a dog for 17 years and my dog passed away and it's horrible. But you are reliable. You make as much money, you generate as much success based on your ability to handle the pivot. Okay. So the pivot is emotional. It always is, because you're going to have to let go of something. Okay, you got to let go of grief of the dog. You got to let go of perfectionism. And I'm gonna land this point, and then we're gonna move on to this. So I actually just did a pocket coaching for List Power Intensive that's coming up tomorrow. I did a pocket coaching for them last night that I think is going out today. And I said, I'm going to share this story with you guys. And I said, so, we have our own jet. It always sounds weird saying that. And our jet, because I'm not like a flashy Lamborghini type girl. Like that's not my dig. You know what I mean? But I will tell you, I'd prefer to be on the jet than I'd prefer to be sitting for 2 hours at a lobby or whatever it's called at the airport to wait to get on the plane. Even the lounges take forever to get to, and then there's often a lineup to get in those. Like I just would once you go luxury, you don't want to go back, right? However, we have had like fuel leak, and then the plane was in California. Then we brought it back up to Puerto Rico. It's been a whole thing. So we've been flying commercial. Boo-hoo, right, Shanda? I got a point to this. So I've got all these points on my credit cards. Anybody have points? Put a P in the chat. If you're someone who has points, put a P in the chat. I want to know all my pointers out there. Richard, don't just raise your hand, put a P in the chat, all right? Like engage, buddy, right? So okay, my point peeps. Okay, my point peeps are out there. So I have all these points. And so I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like we can use points to fly first class back to California to go give birth to our baby and all this stuff. And then I see the point guy on Instagram. Anybody know the point guy on Instagram? This dude's brilliant. So I'm in the rabbit hole of the point guy on Instagram. And I'm going video after video. Like he's got my attention on Instagram. And he's like flying Emirates with its own like condo on the plane with its own room for like nothing. Okay, like nothing, to Dubai and Europe and all over the place. And then I see like California to the Caribbean for like, nothing. And he doesn't ever, I have to land this plane. He doesn't ever book the flights with his credit card points. There's these sites, like when it says, I feel like I have to tell you this now because it's like one of those things. If it says, flight from Puerto Rico or New York City to California, what did they say? Like managed by Delta, or you guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's not that airline, it's managed by Horizon or Air Canada or something like that. So he goes to their site and he sees the booking points are less than what they are on your online booking. So before I digress on this, I like a good deal. I'm not cheap. I'm not a price shopper. I'm a value shopper, but whatever's going to get me my results, I'm going after that. So I will pay premium for results. Like I'm the girl who buys the VIP day, right? I'm the girl who if someone doesn't offer a VIP day, I will chase them down to get the VIP day because I want to condense my learning and then I want to move, right? I don't want to go through months of the year. I want to get what I need so I can get that lever point. This is going to go into what I'm going to teach you today. There's lever points that if you pull on the levers, you get out of the weeds. Okay, there's lever points. So now what have I gone through so far? There's what do you want? And then there's levers to get there that if those levers, it's usually one, maybe two, but there is one main lever that if you pull on that lever, you will hit that goal. Okay, so back to the point, dude. So I'm so deep in the point guy that somehow I want to book my flights now. And I've been looking at the point guy for 2 months now and have still not booked our flights. Why? It dawned on me literally yesterday morning. I'm like, I'm trying to get this right. Like it feels like it's going to be a lot of work to sit down, search the flights. I'm okay with searching the flights, but I'd rather just call Amex and ask Amex to book my flight with my points. I'd rather do that because it feels easier. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, how many business owners right now are trying to just ask people in Facebook groups for their answers? They're going to chat GPT and asking it to generate something for them. And they're not starting with the end in mind. So here's another caveat to this story. I was on with my marketing team yesterday, and I wanted to know some statistics on Typeform, which is just a survey form I use. And I'm like, I want to know, I'm like, the numbers look low. All entrepreneurs think that, right? I was like, the numbers look low on this. I'm like, I wonder if we can see how many people landed on this type form survey and did not go all the way through. Well, why do I want to know that? I want to know if my email deliverability is getting through. I want to reverse engineer what's the problem. So first, we have to go into, what do I want, right? And then from what do I want, I need to know how I'm going to get there. But often this is where the plan starts, and what happens is we don't do it, right? ChatGPT will tell you how. But if you don't talk to ChatGPT right, then you will get blocked. So we had two of us on a phone call yesterday. We're all on Zoom. And I just went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, like literally about this type form. And I asked it in a way that okay, so might sound hokey, but I don't believe any problem is not solvable. So my come from, right? The Bible says the words that come out of your mouth are a state of your heart, right? So because I have this deeply ingrained in me that I just think there's so many more people smarter than me. So somebody's figured out every problem I have. Somebody's figured out every problem you have. And so I just live by that rule. So when I ask ChatGPT a question to solve something, a how, then what happens is I'm already prompting it in a way knowing that there's an answer. So two of us prompted, and one of us got Typeform does not have that technology, but here's a workaround, developers, this, that, and the other. But really, there's no way of finding out right now. And mine gave me a detailed answer that I could say to the person in Typeform in the moment, go to your reviews tab, look at your reviews tab, and she realized that over 50% of the people who were going to that survey were bouncing off. So what did I do? I made a pivot and took that form off and repositioned it in the funnel. Because somebody can't get into the funnel until they go through that survey. So why am I telling you this? First of all, don't trust the answers of everything, not people, not ChatGPT, not anything. There is always a way, and there is no possible way that you are ever stuck. We just haven't asked the right question. And if the way you ask the right question is to be a non-negotiable that there is a solution for this, like right now. Okay, you just need to establish what is the actual problem. Okay, so many of you guys know what the problems are. Okay, so now I want you to go in the chat and engage. Okay, think about what you want right now. Think about what you want right now. And then I want you to think, what do you think the problem is? Right, so for me, cost of lead generation. If I bring down my cost of lead generation, the problem, my cost of acquisition for a new lead in my list, paid lead, then I make more money, right? So it's a lever that if I pull it, I make more money, right? So what is your problem, right? What is your problem right now? If you look at what do you want and what's your actual problem right now? Go in the chat, go in the comment section and let me know. Okay. So show up to your presentations. Great. So if more people showed up to your presentation, then you want to, Esteban, reverse engineer how much more revenue would you make? Because that's what gets you like fixated on your 30-day, 60-day, 90-day goals. And you got to get rid of every other weed because nothing else matters. Because if you have more people show up to that presentation, and I've been telling you that for 5 months, how to solve that. Points guy. Points guy will get you every time, trying to get it right, trying to be busy with all these other things. And so what happens is it ultimately costs you so much more money. I'm going to use you, Esteban, as an example. If you have, I'm just making this up because you could put any metric, but for sake of easy numbers, if you have 100 people show up to a presentation and 13% of them, which is 13, end up purchasing from you, and you have a $10,000 offer, that's a $130,000 presentation. So every week, every month that you let that problem get in your way, you lose this amount of money for you and your family. And so is money hard to make, or is it really that we're just not focusing on the right levers, right? And it's because we're not focusing on the right levers. Because if I went to Chat GPT, I said my problem is, people showing up to my presentation. Okay, well, why do you think there's a problem with them showing up to your presentation? So for me, I have a big list, right? Like and so for me, if people are not showing up to my presentation, is it because my email deliverability is shot? Is it because my open rates dropped? Is it because you know what I mean? Like, what's up? Or is it my messaging sucks and I need to create a new messaging, right? And so I go down the list of problems and I start to go, what is the real problem? Which means that I have to ask questions to figure this out. Are you guys following me here? Yes? Like, you have to become like obsessive about, this is what I want, this is the problem, and I need to figure out really what's getting in the way of that problem not getting solved, versus banging my head against the wall and allowing myself to go to sleep every single night and realizing, well, it's not getting solved for weeks and weeks on end. Okay? So, Esteban, you have to ask yourself, is my problem that my list isn't big enough? Or is my list at least a size that I should at least have 100 people show up? Right? Is it that my messaging is not pulling? And you need to just make a decision fast on what one you think it might be. And you should always take the lowest hanging fruit first. So the lowest hanging fruit would be, you know what? I'm not getting in their inboxes, or I'm not texting them. I'm not being aggressive enough with a really good message. So now I'm going to go back up to Chat GPT and I'm going to tell Chat GPT that you're a copywriter and you specialize in helping people like get onto presentations where they get their information to lose weight. Right? And the problem that I'm having as a creator or a business owner is that my messaging is not disrupting them enough to get their attention to show up. And so currently, this is my message. How do I make this message stronger so that more people register for my Friday Zoom? Right? And then it creates it. And then you read it and you literally look at it and you're like, does this sound right? Or does it, like, would I go after this? Right? And then you're going to ask it to create you a text message. And the point of the text message is to literally get them to show up on the Zoom link. And then for me, I'm always telling it to shorten my text message. But I spent 25 minutes on one text message with ChatGPT yesterday, because I just kept reading it and I was like, it just sounds like it's got no, like, there's no value to this text. I'm like, and this is where you have to lead. And this is why you guys have been around me for a while. I say everything is leadership. It's like, you have to lead, because instead of getting mesmerized by like, oh, it created good copy, or like, that sounds like a good punchy text. It's like, there's too many words, which means it's going to cost too much to send that text out. And secondly, it feels like nobody wants to be followed up with. They want to be drawn forward. What is going to be the purpose? What am I going to get on this presentation? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Yes. So I saw one of the guys on Shark Tank said this really, really well. I shared this with one of our top sales guy. And he said, good salespeople sell features, which is, this is what's in the Zoom. This is what's in my product. That's features, right? Like, we're going to meet 2 times a month. That's features. Good salespeople tell people what they're buying. Great salespeople sell benefits. You should write this down, because you should put it on the freaking wall. Great salespeople sell benefits. You can change out the word salespeople to leader. Okay, when I'm a great leader, my son responds great. So does my husband. When I'm not a great leader and I'm just moving too fast, I get an unpleasant result from them. Okay, so great leaders sell benefits. So what are benefits? Benefits of being on this live right now is you might actually get out of the weeds and focus on the right thing and have a huge result. this week, this month. Because there's no person watching right now that you can convince me that you cannot have a very, very profitable month. It's impossible. You cannot tell me that. There's no way. Even if you haven't built your list yet, there's no way that there is not a way for you to generate a really great profitable month. Other than you're just not focused on the right thing. That's it. Right? So good people sell features, which is here's what's in it. Great leaders sell benefits, which is what's in it for you. Like these are the benefits of doing it like this, right? But fantastic, unstoppable leaders sell emotions and feelings. They sell emotions and feelings, whether they're good emotions or feelings or not. I have told Esteban, my love, for 5 months exactly how to solve your presentation problems. And for whatever reason, you've gotten stopped at a problem and you haven't come to me with the problem. And that's okay if you haven't come to me with the problem, but he can actually come to me. He could go to ChatGPT with the problem and ask ChatGPT to come up with 2 solutions for him that he could execute on in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then if it gives him 2 solutions, which it will, then he could ask ChatGPT whatever the problems are with that. And the problems are just where he's stuck, where you're stuck. It's time, you guys, to get off the badge of honor of I just put my head down in isolation and build. You will absolutely die with AI if you hold on to that badge of honor. So now it's no longer about not wanting to bother people. It's about the fact that you are, can I say this? This is an awful thing to say, but you're being lazy. Okay, and it's okay. I've been lazy, but you're being lazy. Even if you're busy all day, you're being lazy. And it's easier to be lazy than face rejection or whatever that looks like. Okay, it's so much easier to like pull, the scriptures say, I think in Proverbs, the scriptures say that a restful hand, in other words, when people go and take a rest, that poverty jumps on you like that. Isn't it interesting? It's so interesting to me because we're told balance, balance, balance. It's like, guys, balance is not the goal. Live all out. You're not going to die on your deathbed and wish you watched another Netflix show. You're just not. You're not. It's not going to happen. You're going to have regrets on the things that you didn't take action on. Not, I wish I would have watched another Netflix show because I'm tired. Okay, I've seen people build businesses from hospital beds. I've seen people build businesses. One woman, when her child went into a psych ward, you know what I mean? She had a psychotic break. You know, I have seen people take the most excruciating pain and move it into prosperity, and they've never regretted it. It's been the therapy they need. Okay, so all the people who say that, you know, when you take a painful moment and you dive into work, that's not healthy. That is not true. What's not healthy is not feeling. What's not healthy is not grieving. That's not healthy. But there is a power. I always say when someone breaks up with someone, that emotional charge is an amazing time to put it in play to creating something instrumental because it is such a detrimental moment. It doesn't mean that you haven't processed, and it doesn't mean that you're not processing. When my fiance years ago, I'm now happily married, but when my fiance years ago was like talking to another woman and I used his cell phone chip in my phone because it died and saw all these text messages from another woman. Listen, you guys, like I could have curled up in the middle of the living room floor and cried. And I did that a few times, but I wiped up my eyes and I went and did webinars every single week. And I'm telling you, that was a huge income year for me. And there's not one part of me, every time I felt the emotion, I dropped to my knees, I cried, I wiped off my eyes, and I left that emotion there, and I kept going. It was one of the best processes I could ever do. You know why? Because I didn't have anything in me that would stand for an excuse in us not winning, because I was like, listen, it's not secure out there. If we don't get out there and do what we're supposed to do, then we end up in a bad situation. I was in a bad situation. He took care of everything for me. Does that make sense, you guys? Yes? You got it? And so I learned, and that was what I needed to become a producer. Okay. So now I'm going to walk you through this. Okay. So write what you want right now. And if you guys do have one-page strategic plans, you're anybody in our community that started at the beginning of the year with us, like I'm looking at my one-page strategic plan. My management team is in process right now. My basically there's only 2 areas inside of my 5-step strategic plan that have not been implemented at all. And they are on my 30, 60, 90-day plan for this quarter. And when I get off the phone with you, I meet with my operations manager and we go through 30, 60, 90-day plan for the company so then she could implement it with the rest of the company. And it's all based on this plan because this is how I keep myself from spinning. And all it is what do I want? What are the 5 things that it's going to take to get there? If I was starting this plan today, there wouldn't be 5. There'd probably be 2 or 3. The first quarter of the year is done. It's over. Right? You get to lick your wounds, let it go, or celebrate like crazy, right? But you have to realize that the results that you have, whether they're celebration or not, they're 100% on you. Okay, you got it, my friends? Yes? Okay, so let's walk through this. What is it that you want next? That's a major priority for you. Now I'm going to question this for you. Okay, I'm going to question this for you. How are you going to hit that? I don't mean the chat GPT version. That's how you solve the problem to create whatever pivots. How are you going to create that? So let me give you an example. I want 50 calls booked a month, or I want 1,000 calls booked a month. I'm just making this up. Okay. So you're like, okay, so if you had 50 calls booked a month, or you talk to 50 people a month, and you converted, you have to back in the math, and you converted 25% of those, that would mean that you would have 12 enrollments in a month. Could you talk to 50 people in a month, you guys? Could you? Could you talk to 50 people in a month? Okay, what if I sold 12 people a $5,000 offer? I made $62,000 in a month. If I use Klarna or Affirm as my payment processor, they will take the payments for you. You'll pay a fee for that, so you'll have less profits, but you will get all of your cash up front. Okay, you follow me? So would you be happy with $62,000 a month? Just follow me here. So then your metric could easily be that I talk to 50 people a month and I have a 25% close ratio on a $5,000 offer. And then you go to work today and get clear. The scriptures say, my people will perish without a vision. This is what it's talking about with the vision. You get clear that there ain't no mountain, there ain't no problem, there ain't no any of that. That's all in your head. And you've succumbed to a lie. And you can overtake that lie by getting a very simple plan that would make you happy. Okay, so everybody can book 50 calls a month. If you're like, no, I couldn't. Yes, you could. You could. If you've never done my List Power program, put list in the chat. We'll give you a link. For the first time ever, we're giving it away for free. And by the way, we're not giving it away for free next month. We're doing one event for free, and that's the one tomorrow. And we made a decision to gift this event. We made a decision 5 weeks ago to gift this event, and we are gifting it. Okay. So what is the link for that, Tommy? Tommy, what is there you go. So you guys on social media, it's Heartcore Business. No, that's not the link. We need that goes to the page. You need the registration link. Otherwise I can't send them an email or a text message to get in. So what is the actual link for that? Team. Okay, let me ask somebody on our team. Okay, so let me go through this. So if you have a list of 2,000, 3,000 people, you could book 50 calls. So now you go, what's the problem? The problem might come down to the fact that maybe possibly your message isn't strong enough. Maybe possibly, do you have phone numbers with people? You should get clear on those things. What does that look like, right? How many phone numbers do you have? Are you guys getting it? Yes? Okay. Okay. So now you want to look at, okay, well, what else do I want? I'm going to give you some examples to simplify this plan. Okay. So another simplify the plan is, so here, okay, let me give you a balance on this. A lot of times, you know what I'll see? People will say things to me like, I want to create a podcast. I want to create a digital course. Okay, so Danielle, Bridget, you can create a digital course. You could create a digital course. Let me ask Kim real quick. You can create a digital course. Tommy, I'm going to get it. You guys should always have that, by the way. I'm sorry to be a little grumpy about that, but you guys should always have those links available in case I ever share something with people. There. I'll get you guys the link. Sorry, you guys who are all writing in the chat. Okay, so people say, I want to do a podcast, I want to do a course. Okay, so why don't you get paid for doing the course? You know, the best time to learn how to speak is to book yourself on a stage, because everything else is heartbreaking in stress. You will work yourself into a tizzy trying to get ready, trying to get like it took me 2 years to do a talk on a stage. I wish somebody, like for 2 years, I put myself through hell trying to get the right presentation. And it was over like that, right? So how to get the right presentation. So all of that to be said, let me just make sure that's right. That's not it either. Just delete that, Tommy. That's not it either. So it's okay. I'll figure that out with the team. Just you guys, it's actually so great this is happening, because this is exactly why I have a management team inside my company right now. We have a consulting team inside my company, because at no given time should our team not have those links in front of them. We have an event tomorrow, and it's not odd that I wouldn't offer that to someone. So no, that's not it either. Okay, you guys stop dropping links, okay? I'm getting distracted on the training. So let me focus, okay? So let's go back to actual like doing courses or speaking. If I want to speak, so there was a time in my life I wanted to speak. And the reason why I wanted to speak is because the platform needed me to have more authority. I didn't personally ever want to speak. I was shy. Okay? And so, but I knew that I needed to speak to grow the company. So I built the list first, then I learned how to sell to that list. Then I learned how to build a sales team, which was just 2 clients of mine that were raving fans. They both still work for me, right? After whatever, 12, 15, 16 years. And they're not in the sales department anymore. They're in coaching and training. And then then I went to speak to take the authority to the next level. So some people think the business card takes authority to the next level. It doesn't. Like nobody uses business cards anymore. Get rid of your business cards. They haven't used them forever. It's funny when someone gives a business card now. I'm like, oh my gosh, like people are zapping their phones together now. Like you don't need a business card, okay? You also don't need a social media account to be able to crush it. However, if I was going to pick what do I want on social media right now, guess what I would pick? You guys have any idea? Go in chat right now and tell me what would I pick. That's right, YouTube. I would pick YouTube right now. If I was going to pick any social media platform right now, I would pick YouTube. And the reason why I would pick YouTube is because it's going to double in size in 2025. It's going to double in size, okay? And so if you understand that and you look at how long's YouTube been around, you guys? Any of you guys know? How long's YouTube been around? Any of you guys know? Yes, no, maybe so. No, you guys, please stop dropping links. I love you, Jamie. I appreciate you, or Jasmine. That's not the right link. That link is for past clients that have done the training, so that's not the right link. And if people go to that link, they won't get access to it. Okay, so yes, 30 years, 2006, 25 years. To really, has it only been that long? I mean, 25 years is a long time for YouTube. Wow, I didn't even realize it was in that number already. So YouTube, the fact that it's been around all of this time, it's going to double in 2025, means that it's taking brand new creators and growing them super, super fast. So a friend of mine spent the last year on YouTube, and he just had $100,000 a week, and he's not even a year in. But he's relentless. You got to have a good hook. You have to have a good thumbnail. You got to post. He does one pre-recorded video every single week, and you cannot have two niches. You cannot have two avatars, because if you do, you confuse the algorithms. So you have to have one avatar. So if I said, what do I want? I want to grow on YouTube. Then I'm going to say how. I'm going to pick a plan that I'm going to do. And then I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me develop that plan. But if you ask ChatGPT to come up with your plans, you guys, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have a challenge. And the reason you're going to have a challenge is because of exactly what happened to us yesterday. Two of us asked ChatGPT the same question. I prompted one way, somebody else prompted another way. And guess what happened? This person was told it's impossible. And I had a scripted out, go here, do this, and we found our results within seconds. And so you cannot trust what any of these things the AI is telling you. You have to come up with the drive first. And when you come up with the drive first, it will give you the answers. Does that make sense? Yes? Yes? Okay. I'm going to take one hot seat, and then I'm going to end for the day. So who wants a quick hot seat around what we talked about today? Somebody, hot seat. None of you guys? Okay. Esteban, let's roll. Okay.
I'm jumping on this VIP with Shanda. Let's go.
So good. Okay, so what do you want?
More
people for your presentation.
$40,000 revenue monthly for.
Okay. So $40,000 revenue. And so do you know what you're selling at? Like what price point you're selling at?
The higher ticket item, $7,000.
$7K. And what is getting in your way right now?
Total show presentations. So doing what it takes to book the presentations.
Doing what it takes to book the presentations. Okay. So if I went to, let me see here. If I went to, the first place I'm going to go for processing is I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to type 40,000. I'm going to divide it by your 7,000 to get, all I need is basically 6 clients. Okay. So my target is 6 clients a month. And so this is how you simplify it. When you simplify it, the game changes. Okay. You stop feeling like you have to do a million things in a day. Okay. So then you want to go to, if I got 6 clients a month, I don't know how many people on your list, but let's just are you muted?
10,000.
10,000. Oh, dude, this is easy.
Thank you.
This is easy. So here's the first place I'm going to go to. On the how, I'm gonna, so either you go look, or I'd ask my virtual assistant, right? And I would say, how many phone numbers do I have? Okay, so the first lowest hanging fruit is phone numbers. And I would call every single one of them. That's all I would do. I'm telling you, yeah, yes, you can go do a Zoom, you could do some crazy campaign, but if you just called everybody on your list and you just randomly called and you set, oh, I don't have my timer in here. There it is. You set a little $7 timer, because you can't use your phone. You know, if you use your phone, you're on Instagram. You guys get that, right? If I use my phone, I'm like, oh, let me just do a little, before I know it, I'm on something else and I'm scrolling. You guys get what I'm saying? It doesn't work. So that's not going to work out for you. So you want to go set an alarm, and you want to set alarm for at least 30 minutes. Okay, at least 30 minutes. Yes, Tommy, that will work. Okay, we found you guys the link. Okay, the link for you guys who are on social is yourguestspot.com/list-page. I'll put that up here, okay? For you guys who want to come to List Power Intensive. Your guestspot.com/ what is it? List page. Sorry, you guys, that took so long. So you guys are on social media, yourguestspot.com/list-page. Not the most beautiful URL, but that's because we're just running traffic to it. Okay, this is the only time you will get a free seat in this event. It's 2 days, not 3 days. I am going to do a bonus monetization on Friday morning on this List Power workshop. Sorry, Esteban, to digress, but I saw them put the link up. So yourguestspot.com/list-page. And for the first time, I'm completely gifting seats in that. We made a decision to do that 4 or 5 weeks ago. We're running one campaign like this, and we're going back to charging for the event. So this is our give back for the year. This is kind of like my pre-birthday present to the world. Like, we felt generous. We're like, let's just do it. Let's just do one event where we give it to people for free. You will not get anything out of the event to show up one day and not two. You really got to show up both days. So I'm going to do this starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. California time. It'll be about 4 or 5 hours a day. And I will show you how to build a list like Esteban has built of 10,000 people. Like, I can coach him right now. Esteban, how many times have I gone into your messaging and told you to go generate 5,000, 10,000, whatever in a week? A few times.
Yeah,
And you've hit it every time.
I have.
Every time. Right? And so the cool thing about that is I couldn't do that with him without a list, because we don't have any people. Make sense? Yes? Cool. Okay. So you got 6 people a month. This is nothing. And so you need, number one, I would like you to start tracking your hourly time. Like, literally, like, for the next 14 days, I want you to track. Actually, you're so disciplined with your fitness. I would say for the next month. Okay, and I could blow this number out of the park. Your 6 clients in a month, you could blow it out of the park. All you need to do is track, like, and this is what tracking your time looks like. You look at tomorrow. Well, you're gonna do the rest of today, but you look at tomorrow and go, what time am I gonna get up? And what am I gonna do the first hour? What am I gonna do the second hour? Whatever. And so I want you to make a designated work, like from time to get up to end of work. So I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. and I'm going to finish work at 4 or 5 or whatever, right? I love what Alex Hermosi says. He says, people say I'm so busy. And he's like, what's happening between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m.? That's 3 hours. What's happening between 6 p.m. and 9 or 10 p.m.? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 4 hours. So if I do 4 plus 3, that's 7 hours. You have a full day. Well, I got kids. I got a spouse. I know, but you also can't afford to go broke. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a forever strategy. It's you have 2 full days in a day. You have 2 full-time days in a day, and you still have time to sleep and get a full night's sleep. You know what I mean? It might mean you're spending less time on the couch, Netflix. You know, you might, like, my kid's 10, so you wouldn't have approved Esteban. He made himself rice this morning, and I'm giving him a teaspoon of olive oil before he eats it. He was like, that's so gross. I'm like, can't spike your blood sugar, baby. So back to your scenario. So the first thing I would do is I want to know how many people are on your list, 10,000, how many people are opening, how many people have not been opening. You need to change your email deliverability so that you're segmenting your list, so you're sending emails just to the open rate. And then you need to get a second domain that you guys warm up over 3 or 4 weeks, so you could start doing a campaign to the unopens with a different domain. You can reach out to me for some strategy on that, okay? And so that you can start warming up that other list that is not opening right now. Okay, and you got to create a system around that. So where it's like open, people who are opening get emails, people who are not opening, you use a second domain. Okay, so if people are like, how do you warm up a domain? There's a great ChatGPT question. And this is what I mean by people are waiting for people to, like, don't ask those questions. Go ask ChatGPT. Right? Like and you tell ChatGPT, I have an email list of X amount of people. Here's how many people are not opening, and give it as many details as you can. Right? I have out of 5,000 people, I have 2,000 that haven't opened for 90 days or more. I have 1,000 that haven't opened for 30 days, and I have 2,000 that haven't opened for 60 days or more. How do I warm up this list? I'm in the fitness world, right? And it'll give you a system, right? How do I make sure my domain doesn't get hit with spam and I lose my domain reputation? It will tell you, okay? Like, it'll tell you. Leadership is the only way we're all staying in business. You guys get that? Leadership is the only way we're all staying in business. What I'm demonstrating right now is leadership. Okay, it's not tactics anymore. It's leadership. Okay, so now I want to know really how many phone numbers we have. Now, what if you don't have any phone numbers? What you do, but what if you don't? Now I'm back to a new problem. I have a 10,000 person list. I have no phone numbers. Okay, so you can either reach out to me, right? And I can give you a strategy. You can run a raffle. But the more generous you are, the better the raffle is going to be. Now, don't try and get them to answer 10 questions in a raffle. You get what I'm saying? But you could run a raffle where they're tagging you on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. You could run a raffle that's straight up like, reply to this email, right? Reply to this email, answer this one question, and make sure you include your phone number. So if you win, we can call you back. Like, you've got to find a way to get the phone numbers, right? So there's no problem. There's no way that either you can't solve this problem or ChatGPT can't solve this problem. But most people are going to ChatGPT or AI and asking it to develop the plan for them. And that's the problem. You need to drive. Y'all get that? So why do I want phone numbers? Everybody in business knows that phone numbers and connection is currency. Connection is currency. My team wanted to generate more. They generated 45 call bookings in a couple days. And they're just asking me for lists. Right? And as your company grows, you start to segment lists. Do you know who your best clients are, Michael Rossi? Your past clients. It's hard to believe. If I go reach out to my past Pace Club clients or people like that, and I reach out to them, listen, the grass is not greener on the other side. You know what I mean? And unless you're a jerk and they've left because you're a jerk, usually they're like, I could use a little of you again. Right? And they come back forward because they already know you and like you. Right? So Esteban, you help people get in great shape. And so, I'm telling you, the more you push on this message, helping men get in great shape, although I know you help a lot of women, but listen, there are a lot of men out there that are driven, that need help, that are constantly year after year after year saying, I'm going to get in shape. Okay. They're doing the sit-ups randomly at the bottom of the bed for like 2 days. They've gone to the gym for 3 days, and then they're falling off their scenario. And then they're eating chips at the end of their day. Do you know what I mean? And they feel like crap. So if the message of workout, get back in shape is not working, then you need to get into the intimacy of how's that bag of chips taste at the end of the day? What type of message are you giving your husband, your wife, your kids, right? What type of message are you giving your business? right? Like your career. This is huge, right? And you call them forward and you try these different things and they come forward. So back to the phone numbers. You do all those phone numbers, even if you have 600 phone numbers on that 10,000 list, which you have more. If you call them and call them and call them over the next couple days, I bet you hit that 6 within 2 days, maybe 3. And then what the heck are you going to do with the next 30 days? You could be doing this every single week. You could be doing this every single week. So your 40,000 could be 80,000, could be 200,000. And that's the cost that you're leaving on the table. That is the cost of some personal stuff with you and Britt, right? That is the cost that, by the way, they have a great marriage, so it's not like that, you guys. But like, you get what I'm saying? So that is the cost. Like, you can just start accumulating all the things that you want to invest in that you're not investing, and the price you're really paying is life or death right now. You get what I'm saying? It's huge when you already have the asset and you can do it. Okay, so I want you to focus on phone numbers, and I only want you to focus on phone numbers. That's all I want you to do for the next 2 weeks. I think you'll be done this week. I think you'll hit your numbers this week. Okay, so you need to call those people. You need to do a survey. Find out if they're still interested in getting in shape. Find out, did they hit their fitness goals in the last 6 to 12 months? What got in the way? Do they still have those fitness goals? And would they like to reduce delay and get the result now before the summer hits? Have some great bonus that goes with it. Maybe their spouse can work out for free with them if they have one, right? You'll ask them. Maybe you'll add an extra 2 months, if they pay in full. It doesn't mean you're going to offer that next month, but it means that you're going to hit your goals this month. Does that make sense? So it doesn't mean you just hit your goals this month, right? And then you could change your bonus structure. You got it?
Got it. Yes, thank you.
Message me on Friday and let me know that you hit it, okay?
Will do.
Awesome. So he was easy, you guys, and he was easy because he has a list, right? So you get what I'm saying? But if he didn't have a list, there's still no way that you can't generate what you want to generate and do it now. So I'm going to end on this. When I look at this, my problems are my constraints, and they're yours as well. I have a meeting coming up. I have my constraints written right here. I do this every quarter. Okay, I honestly do it every month. It's how I keep redefining myself back to this is what's most important. Because just like you, I'm sure you're in a position where you keep adding campaigns or things to your books. Do you guys keep adding things? I keep seeing this. I'll do a Zoom, then I'll do a challenge, then I'll do a list build, then I'll go to this event, and it's like, it's just too many things. Like, you can't nail an interview summit, a launch of a podcast, and a challenge all in 60 days and do well. You can't do that. That's not, if you're going to launch a podcast, you're going to be recording 10, pre-recorded podcasts before you launch, which is not going to happen in a week. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you're prioritizing cash flow. One of the best wealth transfers on the planet is happening right now, and will be happening over the next year to 2 years. You guys at Mentor Me Live, I am negotiating a deal for you right now. For you guys who are in our Mentor Me Live year-long program, I am currently negotiating a deal for you right now to be able to bring in a very serious crypto trainer. A very, very serious crypto trainer. And so I'm spending next week working that deal. Pray for us that happens, because I'm not interested in just a trainer. I'm interested in somebody who's generating an insane amount of money. Why would I do that? Because I don't teach that stuff. But I will tell you, I didn't become financially free by just generating income in my business. I took the money in my business and I invested it. And it's the investments that create the freedom, because cash flow goes up and down. I had 15 years of great growth, 20%, 50%, many years, 50% growth, insane amounts of profits. 2 years ago, I was 44% profit. profit margin. Like, you guys hear what I'm saying? And then made a tweak in the business, dumped almost $7 million in 9 months on just a learning lesson. And so if I wouldn't have had investments, it would have been a big problem. It would have changed my life. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about because you're walking through stuff like that right now. So I'm telling you, I really believe that things can change fast. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm your girl to show you how to monetize online, to be able to grow great audiences, to be able to monetize that. But you are the driver of what do you want? How are you going to get there? And if you can't figure that decision out, then you're not ready to play the game. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to make a decision. What do I want and how am I going to get there? And once you make that decision in about 5 minutes, then everything you do is what is the main lever that if I pull it, I will hit that. So I know I already said I'd end on this, but please don't go build a podcast before you build a list. Please don't go build a course before you build an audience of people to buy the course, because you can get paid to create the course. You don't have to pre-do all these things. You can pre-sell things, pre-sell books, pre-sell. I told my husband when they launched High Burst, the hydration product of his, I was like, pre-sell that baby, right? Pre-sell it and pre-sell everything. Like, you should pre-sell it. If I had my agreement done for crypto right now and I wanted to, I'm bringing it into my clients, but if I wanted to sell it to my list, I'd pre-sell it. Do you get what I'm saying? Before it was ever created, I'd pre-sell it. So try to get out of the slow mentality of I'm going to get everything, all my ducks in an order. I'm going to tie a bow on it and then I'm going to launch. No. Focus on building the people. Make sure you get emails and phone numbers. And you could take the strategy I just gave with Esteban and truly face all essence of rejection or humiliation and just talk to people and make offers and see what's working and see what's not working, and then double down and scale it. Take that cash and go and invest it. Whether it's real estate, crypto, things are going on the blockchain now. I'm not saying I even have a firm grip on all of that, but I am making great money in those investments. And I'm doing it because I'm following a very clear plan that's super simple. And now I want to expand on it. And I think I would be a jerk in leadership if I go and get to the next level of financial freedom and I don't take my clients with me. You guys agree with me? Yes? So notice what can happen this year. Everything can happen really, really quickly. My homeschool teacher just came into $8,000, right? She just came into like when she left the school system, I think it's 8,000. And I'm sitting there going, so what are you going to do with it? Now, I'm not her financial advisor, but she's investing it. And I like to think that it was that great little talk sitting on my stairs in my house about once you go spend that money on a new car or new this or new that, it's gone. Don't you spend that money on your rent or your mortgage or your groceries. Pretend like you never had that money and go roll it in a good investment and see if you can double that money. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So God bless. I hope that you take this Shanda on Demand and you do something with it. I just taught you what I did in the last 48 hours to get myself back on track with the next quarter. I am currently out of 5 key strategies of the year. 1, 2, 3. 2 are complete. The third one's being completed right now. Where it's being executed right now. We started that a few weeks ago, and I got 2 more things. So we're currently in the first quarter, ending the first quarter. We're in the second quarter of the year, and I got 2 major pieces left on my 5-page strategic plan. I will be done this puppy by the summer, and then I will have my baby number 2 in August. Okay, so you guys, it doesn't have to take all year to hit your KPIs, to hit your goals. We can hit it now. If you want to join me on List Power Intensive Workshop, if you guys can put this in the chat, you can go to no cost this tomorrow and the next day only. After that, I'm putting it back behind a pay page. Okay, so yourguestspot.com/list-page is how you get access to that. And then I'll train that tomorrow on the next day. And that's really straight up, how do you build a list, and then how do you monetize that list? How do you build a list, and how do you monetize that list? And I'll show you how to do it. Obviously, I'll be influencing a lot on telling people to take that cash injections. I will be teaching cash injections, and then I'll be pushing people to be smart with that cash. Don't ask people for what you want. You make a decision on what you want, and you make a decision on how. And then you use AI or coaches or consultants or whatever to help you close those gaps. All right, you guys, this was a great Shanda on Demand. I'm sending you so much love. Bye, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Shanda.
Bye.
Thank you, Shanda. I
Amazing.
missed you. You're awesome.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Shanda.